Sammy was the fastest squirrel in all of Whimsywood. No one had ever seen a squirrel run quite like Sammy. He could dash across branches before a leaf had even fallen. He could leap from tree to tree before the wind finished whispering. He could scurry across the forest floor faster than a rabbit blinked. But there was one tiny, little problem. Sammy never, ever, slowly did anything. He never walked when he could scamper. He never paused when he could sprint. He never stopped talking when he could chatter. Who has time to slow down? Sammy chirped one morning, zipping past a group of daisies. I have adventures to have. Nuts to gather. Fun to be faster than. The flowers barely nodded in the wind. The daisies swayed as though shaking their heads. Even the grass seemed to whisper, slow down, slow down. All the other animals in Whimsywood sighed. Sammy, said Oliver the Owl, perched on a crooked branch high above. Sometimes it's good to take things slow. Slow? Sammy squeaked. Who wants slow? Slow is boring. Oliver just blinked, feathers twitching. Boring? Perhaps, or perhaps it's something magical you don't see yet. Sammy grinned, twitching his nose. Magical, you say? Well, I don't need slow to find magic. And with that, he zipped away, faster than a spinning leaf caught in the wind. The other animals watched him go. A hedgehog rolled his eyes. A family of rabbits shook their ears. Even the sun seemed to tilt a little, like it couldn't keep up. By midday, Sammy's stomach began to grumble. He dashed past a berry bush. Too slow, he squeaked, not even glancing at the bright red berries. He skittered across the mossy forest floor, leaping over roots, dodging low branches, and narrowly avoiding bumping into a turtle. Watch it, said the turtle, slowly raising a claw. Slow down, young squirrel. Slow? Ha! Sammy chirped, zooming past. And then, thump! He tripped over a hidden root and tumbled into a pile of crunchy leaves. Oof. What happened? Sammy coughed, scrambling upright. The turtle just smiled. You'll see, one day, it said quietly, as Sammy shot off again. Later that afternoon, something unusual happened. A soft, shimmering fog appeared on the path ahead. It glimmered like silver sugar in the sunlight. And it smelled faintly of honey and pine. Curious. Sammy skittered closer. But as he approached, the forest seemed different. The trees weren't moving as fast. The wind wasn't whistling past his ears. Even the birds seemed calmer. Sammy muttered, twitching his whiskers. This is weird. Very weird. Maybe a little slow? He zipped a little closer. A little slower. And the fog swirled around him. It tickled his whiskers. It made his tail twirl in tiny circles. Suddenly, he tripped. Over a root. Over a mossy stone. And tumbled into a soft pile of golden leaves. Oof! Sammy coughed. My paws, they feel funny. They felt still. Calm. Gentle. Sammy looked around. The forest wasn't rushing anymore. It was smiling. The flowers turned toward him. The leaves danced slowly, lazily. Even the stream bubbled along with tiny, happy giggles. Sammy blinked. He twitched his nose. He twirled his tail. Slow is fun? He whispered. And as he whispered, he noticed a tiny snail crawling across a mossy rock. Its shell glistened like a pearl. Its pace was slow, but purposeful. Hello? Said the snail softly, lifting a tiny eye stalk. You look like you could use a break. Sammy stopped in surprise. Hello? I didn't know snails could talk. I can, the snail replied, smiling. But only to those who take time to notice. Sammy twitched his whiskers again. And just like that, the first tiny spark of understanding began to flicker. As he walked more slowly, Sammy began to notice the world around him in a way he never had before. He saw the tiny ants marching in neat lines, carrying crumbs far bigger than themselves. He noticed the dew on the spiderwebs, turning each strand into a sparkling thread of silver. He smelled the pine needles and the soft hum of the earth, deep beneath his paws. The forest wasn't boring at all. It was alive. And it was speaking. Then, he heard a soft ribbit nearby. A small green frog sat on a lily pad in a quiet pond, blinking at him. "Hello, Speedy Squirrel," said the frog. "Why are you rushing through life so fast?" I don't know," Sammy stammered. "I like to move. I like to be first. I like fast." The frog chuckled. "Sometimes being first makes you miss the music of life." "Music?" Sammy tilted his head. "Music is everywhere," the frog said, "if you listen slowly enough." And when Sammy stopped and really listened, he could hear it. The soft gurgle of the pond, the buzz of dragonflies, the rustle of reeds. He twitched his nose in surprise. "It's beautiful," he said softly. Further along, he encountered a sleepy owl perched upside down on a branch. "Who's there?" the owl yawned. "It's me, Sammy," said the squirrel cautiously. "You're moving too fast," said the owl. "Slow down, or you'll miss the patterns of the trees, the whispers of the wind, the stories hiding in the moss." Sammy blinked. He had never noticed the moss patterns before. Or the tiny trails of light slipping through the leaves. Or the way the wind curled around the tree trunks like a ribbon. "Wow," whispered Sammy. I've been missing so much." By late afternoon, Sammy's adventure had become a full journey of discovery. Every twist in the forest path was a new surprise. A patch of bluebells nodding in rhythm with the wind. A family of fireflies blinking slowly like tiny lanterns. A clear stream reflecting the sky in perfect colors. And Sammy, for the first time, moved, not fast. Not rushing. But slowly. Step by step, paw by paw. Breathing, noticing, smiling. Finally, he came to the heart of Whimsy Wood. It was a quiet clearing, bathed in golden sunlight. Soft moss covered the ground. Flowers leaned toward him. Birds perched nearby, singing gently. Even the wind moved with a sense of ceremony. And in the very center, resting on a soft patch of moss, was a single, enormous, sparkling nut. Sammy's eyes widened. His tail twitched in excitement. He tiptoed slowly toward it. And then, he paused. Not from fear. Not from hesitation. But from wonder. He noticed the dew sparkling on the moss. The gentle shimmer of the sunlight. The quiet song of a robin perched above. The subtle scent of wildflowers and pine. If he had rushed, he would have missed everything. Slow made the adventure magical. Sammy picked up the sparkling nut, cradling it carefully. He felt proud, but not from speed. He felt proud because he had seen. Because he had listened. Because he had slowed down. On the way back, Sammy didn't just zip past everything. He paused for berries. He listened to the wind. He watched a family of rabbits play, and even waved a tiny paw as he passed. When he finally returned to the tree where he slept each night, he looked back at the forest. And he knew the magic wasn't just in the nut. It was in the noticing. It was in the slowing down. It was in the adventure of simply being present. From that day on, Sammy balanced speed with stillness. He still dashed across branches. He still leaped with joy. He still talked and laughed and zipped through life. But he also paused. He also listened. He also noticed. Because sometimes slowing down was the fastest way to see how wonderful the world really is. And now and then, Sammy would tiptoe through the forest. To see. To listen. Just to be silly slow. The end.